cost elements. This will be somewhat longer presentation as we will be covering the calculation and workings for many of the cost elements and income elements. We would like to make a mention here that it is always preferable and advisable to put in the actual of last 3 years, and once you put in the actual of last 3 years, it would provide you very sure clue and guide as to its trend, pattern and behavior as evidenced during the last 3 years as for all income elements, all cost elements, current assets and current liabilities. Importantly, all this provides a lot of convenience, support and comfort in working out estimates and projections. Calculating raw material cost. Initially, getting into for input of main material raw material cost. As said, we will first take a reference to the status of previous year, and we could find here that it is ranging as somewhere 68% to net sale value of output, amount of raw material cost incurred, percentage increase year to year, etc. You are provided in the side panel multiple and varied options for its calculation. We opt for third option as percentage to net sale value of output and place it as 68% or so, and further we could differ it year wise as well, say 68% for next year, 68.25% for then next 2 years and so on. If it is required, you may opt for quite detailed and exhaustive workings as under the first option. You will find all your defined products in the side list. Say we want to enter all the raw material ingredients for this newly added product P4. With this traverse function, you could add any number of raw material ingredient for each of the product shown in the side list of products. Say P4 is carrying 5 ingredients, whereas product 1 is made up of 20 ingredients, and that product 2 is composed from 10 raw materials and so on. There are no volume restrictions or constraints. You may have any number of products and each product carrying any number of raw material ingredients. For example, we add a new raw material for P4 with plus button, stating the name of raw material as R1P4 as raw material 1 of product 4, quantity required for above batch size of production, say 5 kgs. You specify losses and gains as percentage at each of the raw material level and as well at each of the product level or as a combination of both, ensuring precision at each of the ingredient level. Then specify rate per unit as of imported raw material, indigenous raw material, even as differing rate for each of the year, or stating as percentage increase, say 2% increase every year. You are enabled to change the proportion between imported raw material and indigenous raw material as year wise for each of the raw material separately. Thus, you could observe that how precise and exact you could be at your project working with no compromise anywhere. This software actually could work very well as project viability finder. Instead of this detailed option of detailing recipe for each product, you may opt for second option, wherein you may specify given specified cost per unit for each of the products separately. Say 150 for product 1 whose sale price is 220, 425 for product 2 having a sale price tag of 510, and so on. Importantly, throughout the package, among various options, nowhere data is erased or lost. It is just put to use and non-use. For example, you had to put up a voluminous data at first option,
but due to lack of some information on some product, it could not get completed. Then in such a case, you may switch over to other option and soon finish up your report. Later on, when further details are available, you could again switch back to first option and complete your detailed report. Nowhere data is erased. It is just put to use and non-use as you switch over options. Furthermore, you need not to save your data anytime. It is as auto-save at all time. At third option, as seen, it could be as overall percentage to net sale value of output, or you could be even selective for each of the product wise separately. For example, product 1 is manufactured product stating raw material cost as 70%. New P4 product is a traded product where you want to specify main material cost as 92% or so, as the case may be product to product. As under the last option, doing nothing, very simply, just straightway insert the figures of main material, raw material cost and finish off.
Calculating other material, packing material cost. Now we have a look to other cost element, say other material or packing material. All income elements and cost elements add by the side panel of each. It provides for multiple and varied bases of calculations. The options vary right from very precise, exact and detailed working to a fair, approximate and easier basis of working. Initially, we shall get a reference to the status of previous year. Here we find that it is varying somewhere about 3% to the main material cost, 2.25% to net sale value of output, 16% has increased over last year, and so on. Getting a clue and guide here from, we just opt the relative option, finish input and soon exit the screen. The input by that way is very fast and quick. As referring here to the third option, it may be as percentage to net sale value of output as overall for all the products together, or you may be selective for each product wise separately. Say from among the 4 products, P4 is a full truckload supply and there is no need of assigning any packing material cost to it. Then just keep this product P4. Same way, it could be stated at option 4 in reference to main material, raw material cost. At option 5, you may state the last year amount or some reference amount and then state the increase to be considered as for each year. At last, 6th option, without getting into any calculation, just insert straight the figures there too. Now coming over to second option, it can be specified as given specified cost per unit for each of the products separately. Whereas option 1 is meant for detailed calculation. Say, for example, you are working for some pharma industry and where packing material cost is of prime importance and ranging somewhere 25% and 30% of sale value. Then you may opt this first option and give the detailing of each of the packing material for all the products separately. Say as bottle, label, cap, strip, tin, box, etc. Thus, we could conclude here that as from among the various options, you may opt and select a particular option depending upon A. Nature of project, B. Size of a project, C. Importance of a particular project working, D. Importance of an element within that project, E. Data is available for a particular working, F. Urgency of making a report and its submission, etc. Calculating employees' expenses. The next cost element is employees cost and expenses. As usual, first option is meant for detailed workings. You may categorize your employees cost and expenses under three user-defined heads. The default nomenclature are that for an industrial unit as factory personnel, administrative personnel, and selling and distribution personnel. These may be adapted and adjusted as per need, say as teaching staff and non-teaching staff for an educational institute. Same way may be adapted for hotel, hospital, or any other type of project. Under each of the said three heads, state the description for each of the designation placement category, whether skilled or unskilled category, number of persons, pay per month, and its starting year and starting month, enabling you to decide a specific start point as separately for each of the designation placement category. Importantly, there are no volume restrictions, and you are enabled to giving all and each job position with its detailing as said. State also the increments and staff welfare expenses as percentage of yearly emoluments. You could as well use the other easier basis available as given in the side selection panel as year-wise varying percentage to sale value of output. As we see, the trend prevailing as 4% to sale value of output, and along with year-specific amount may also be given. It may be also as percentage increase over a given amount at the third option. Say last year amount is 30.75 and stating increase of 18% as we found therein. Additionally, employees cost may be considered on a job rate, piece rate basis. Say, for example, your P4 product is a textile sari product and where some outside embroidery work is carried out at rupees 5 per unit. Thus, very crystal clear working for each and every element. Other cost elements. Same way, you may get a quite extended choice for every and all other cost element as fuel cost, power charges, repairs and maintenance, other operating expenses, general and administrative expenses, selling and distribution expenses, etc. It could also be worked out very conveniently and very effectively. Income elements. Coming over to income elements, it is categorized as domestic sales realization and export sales realization. Other operating income 1, other operating income 2, miscellaneous income 1, and as miscellaneous income 2. Let's first see as detailing of domestic and export sales realization. It may be worked out as a quite extensive and in a substantially detailed manner at option 1. A. Select the product from the drop-down list. B. Enter the domestic sale price per unit of this product, and you may opt for differing year-wise sale price structure for each product. C. Same way, enter the export price per unit of this product and as well as differing it for each of the year, each of the product. D. Importantly, for each of the products separately, further as differing each year wise the proportion of domestic sales to export sales. Thus, you could see that how working of domestic net sales and export net sales is very much precise and is detailed to the farthest extent for each product wise. Same way, for each of the product have a very clear and distinctive line drawn between gross sale and net sale. For each of the product, state whether GST and other levies are applicable or not, and if applicable, whether on value, ad valorem basis or on a specific quantity basis, and if on value basis, whether on slab value basis or otherwise as a general rate basis. Thus, distinctively a difference between gross sale and net sale for each of the products separately. Importantly, for a very precise assessment of working capital, domestic sales revenue as from each of the product may be specified and categorized as separately book debt sales, BPBD sale, cash sale, deferred sales, etc. And very importantly, then you could specify the differing term credit period for each of these respective category.
Simpler and easier option. Just state the year-wise amount of domestic sales and export sales, specifying its working capital category. Same way as a fast and easier option, it could as well be stated as percentage increase over a previous year figure or other given specified amount. Now we are referring to other operating income 1. Different bases, ways and method to calculate it. Same way, other operating income 2, miscellaneous income 1 and miscellaneous income 2. Thus, you could find here that there is lot of flexibility, multiple and varied bases and options to calculate each income element and cost element, enabling you to keep a track and control over the activity level, each year wise and for each of the element as well.